Here are the top 6 expensive players to sell right now. Sponsored by Circa's Ultimate Fantasy Football Draft Giveaway. Look, you'll hate me for this. My number 1 player, it's Jayden Daniels. What's not to love, though, right? Insane rookie, or almost 900 rushing yards. Deep playoff run, a game short of the Super Bowl. The team, the Commanders, they address the offensive line, and they bring in Deebo Samuel. What's not to love? Still, I am not betting on a 6'4", 210-pound quarterback who loves to run to stay healthy. To me, he got through it last year. That's a losing proposition over time. He might have another great season, but it won't take much for him to be sidelined for significant time. Sell. His value is as high as it ever will be today. Anthony Cervino.
My first sell, we're going to stick with the Commanders. It's Terry McLaurin. On paper, McLaurin just had the best season of his career. He finally got a legit quarterback in the aforementioned Jayden Daniels, and he scored a career high 13 times. But here's the thing. That touchdown number is almost certainly going to regress. In every other year of his career, he's never had more than 7 touchdowns. And between 2020 and 24, he was averaging just 5 scores per season. That looks like a major outlier. On top of that, he brings in Deebo Samuel. They bring in Gallup. They bring in KJ Osborne this offseason. A little bit more competition, even though it's not significant competition. Now, McLaurin's receptions and yardage totals were actually right in line where he always was, about 80 catches, just over 1,000 yards. And the only thing that really made him pop were those touchdowns. And if that touchdown number drops, which it really could, he's right back into that wide receiver 2 tier. But right now in Dynasty, some people are valuing McLaurin as a borderline wide receiver 1, which is why you need to sell.
My next sell, and this one pains me. A.J. Brown is one of my favorite players of all time. But here's the problem. The Eagles are a run-first and a run-second team. A.J. Brown should be getting double-digit targets every game he plays. Last year, less than 8 targets per game. And yet the fantasy community is still viewing him as a top 10 fantasy receiver. He's not going to get the ball. Jalen Hurts, he's limited in what he does. If A.J. Brown was used properly, again, he's in contention to be the best receiver in the league. But for fantasy, the targets aren't coming back. It was not a one-year anomaly. It's going to happen again. Tell him right now while his fantasy value is extremely high. Hey, fantasy football family, imagine this. Your entire 12-team league taking over Las Vegas for the most insane draft weekend of your lives. Circa Resort and Casino is throwing the ultimate fantasy football experience giveaway. Trust me, this isn't your buddy's backyard draft with folding chairs and cold pizza. We're talking 2 nights at Circa for you and your whole crew. But that's just the warm-up. I've been part of this, and it is legendary. Your draft goes down poolside at a private cabana at Stadium Swim. Giant screens everywhere, including that 143-footer, DJ spinning, the kind of vibe that makes your league feel like royalty. They're rolling out limo service to and from the airport, a welcome party at the Legacy Club, and your own VIP booth at the largest sports book on the planet. This isn't just a draft. It's a weekend your league will talk about forever. You got to be 21 or older to enter. Head to circalasvegas.com for all the details. If you're going to draft like legends, only at the Circa. Anthony Cervino, who's your next sell?
My next sell is Puka Nacua. Now, don't get me wrong. He's been outstanding. He followed up a historic rookie season with nearly 1,000 yards, 3 touchdowns in just 11 games. He was a target hog, had outstanding yards after the catch numbers, and he dominated one healthy. But that's a key phrase. One healthy. He missed weeks 2 through 7 with a knee injury. And if we're being honest, he plays a very physical style of football. He's constantly being asked to block in the McVay offense, which is what Rams receivers have to do. And that wear and tear is going to show up. He also had a concerning injury history in college. And now with Devontae Adams in town and Matthew Stafford aging, things are looking murky. There's still sky-high upside, but there's also more risk than people want to admit. If you can sell Puka Nacua right now as a top 5 dynasty wide receiver and get a safer, more stable asset plus a little bit extra in return, I'd seriously consider it.
My next player is T. Higgins of the Cincinnati Bengals. T. Higgins, he gets that new contract. The fantasy community is buying hard. He's going as a borderline wide receiver, one of the most expensive Higgins has been in his career, and he has always been priced highly in fantasy drafts. And I'm saying, really? Higgins never has had an 1,100-yard season in his career. He has not seen more than 110 targets in any year. 2024 was the first time he had more than 7 touchdowns, though he almost always scores 5 for you. Durability is always an issue. There are games in his career where he is active and doesn't play. He misses time. Now he's paid. That said, I can't count on him. He has not shown me elite level production. You could sell him at nearly a wide receiver 1 cost. You're not getting wide receiver 1 value out of T. Higgins. So sell him while you can. Anthony.
My last sell is Saquon Barkley, and I get it. Barkley just had an absolute monster season in Philadelphia, over 2,000 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns, and he looked explosive again. But there are warning signs. First off, workload. He had 345 carries in the regular season, and when you add into the playoffs, he touched the ball 482 times in total. That's one of the heaviest workloads we've seen in years. He also had just 33 receptions because the Eagles don't really feature to throwing the football to the running backs. And Jalen Hurts, we know, vultures those goal line touchdowns. So while Barkley was efficient, that receiving volume and red zone usage is capped. And let's talk age. Barkley's entering the danger zone for dynasty running backs. He's in his late 20s now, and the drop-off could be coming sooner than people think. His value is sky high right now. He just got a new contract. He's the lead back in a prolific offense, and he's finally stayed relatively healthy, which is why now is a time to sell before the decline starts.
Those are our top 6 expensive players to sell right now. Don't forget to enter Circa's ultimate fantasy football draft giveaway by going to circalasvegas.com.